We are live. We're going to have a short introduction from Sherry Rains first.
Hi, I'm Sherry Rains, Director of the Cherokee County Chamber of Commerce. I am pleased to welcome you to the launch party for Virtual Storefronts. This pilot program to support locally owned business is happening right here in Andrews, North Carolina. There's been a lot of buzz about this new business opportunity, so please join Uspace CEO Tobin as he offers a live demonstration of the platform's capabilities. After the presentation, Tobin will entertain your questions. So again, welcome and thank you for attending.
Hello and welcome to the Virtual Storefronts live demo and launch party. My name is Tobin. I'm the CEO of Uspace, the company that makes virtual storefronts. First, for everyone in the studio audience and anyone in the Andrews Murphy area, does anyone here recognize this billboard?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right? Do you know Big Frank? Right?
Who doesn't?
And then it says, by the way, this double image is not, this is not our technical problem. I believe it's part of the billboard. But he says, Google Big Frank. And this is a great example right here of what the problem that small business has. Small business has to jump through hoops just to be the #1 search term for a random set of words. You're Googling Big Frank, and I got to hand it to Frank. He's the #1 search result when you Google Big Frank, and that's impressive. However, it's not really giving the consumer that much information. I mean, maybe Big Frank sells, signs or other kinds of things. We have no idea what Big Frank does. All we know is that if you Google him, he's managed to do SEO optimization as a local business enough to be the #1 keyword on Google. But we're not seeing what Big Frank has to offer. And that's kind of the core of the problem with virtual storefronts, the core of the problem that virtual storefronts solves for local business. Here's another problem, which is that many local businesses with local merchants, there's a lot of tools in technology companies, but these tools are not necessarily designed to help, or they don't integrate into the flow of the local merchant. And so people default to the telephone, which actually is, this is a COVID era sign, and they're saying, curbside is available, so they're adjusting their business model to the reality that things are going virtual. But this is virtual technology from the last century. Right? Phones! Remember phones? Yes. So that is not an efficient way to do your business in the 21st century, because 86% of people globally prefer text when they're contacting businesses over any other form, because we're always on our phones. So we're upgrading by bringing local businesses to your phone. Now, tonight we're launching the first phase of the. Hold on one second. We're launching the first phase of the virtual storefronts. It's a 2-phase project. The first phase is the local search directory, and this is how the local search directory works. You start with a shopper who has intent, right? The shopper in 2021 isn't going to do what we used to do with the yellow pages. Back with the yellow pages, it was like, hey, I want mid-century modern furniture, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the type of store that might have that. I have to do all of that kind of figuring myself. But today what we do is we Google whatever it is we want, right? We just want something and we type in what we want. So that's consumer intent. And what virtual storefronts does that's different than any technology out there, and how it makes this business, this is 992 Main Street Consignments right here, how it makes this business visible is by creating as part these keywords that are associated with that business so that the customer can search for what it is they want, and these keywords connect them to this business. Okay? So it's a closed environment. It's like Google, but it's a closed environment that only locally owned businesses can enter. They're the only ones who are allowed to go there. And shop local fans, when they go and search for things there, can look for what they want and know when they get it, they're getting it at a local business. So you can, just by going to virtualstorefront.co, our search engine, searching for what you want will get you to a local business. That is a way to direct money to our local businesses. It's a way to know and see what's inside that business without having to walk in. Of course, you can walk in, but you don't have to. You can explore your town, you can explore other towns without actually having to step in physically. This is virtualization for local businesses. For the business owner, it's a little cut off at the top. The result, the way this works is that all the people here, the people here, the people here, and the people here who are searching for, a Reuben sandwich, and the Reuben sandwich is located here, all those people get this as the number one search result. This is the local business here, and it's the number one result for everything around it, right? So not only are we directing people to local businesses, but the local business itself is the number one result in search for every person who's closest to that business. So it's relevant in terms of proximity, and it's advertising. It's a number one search result. So you're being rewarded, right, for where you're at and for what you have, as opposed to being punished and having to game a system and put your name out there and say, hey, everyone, Google that. It's not a game that people can win. All right, so now we are going to just briefly walk through the features. I'm going to show you the search engine. We have to do this horizontally, I'm afraid, because auto exposure. You can't control these things, but it's better to do a Facebook Live with auto exposure than no Facebook Live at all. So we're going to do a search. I'm going to show you how this works. We're going to search for biography books. Excuse the, this is really hard to see. I have to go vertical for a second. Biography books is a search. Now everyone in our directory who has biography books is represented. Ugh, this is awful. So we have Dean's here in Andrews, which is 0.1 miles away from this is my location. I've pinned myself, and everyone is automatically pinned at the location. So me, the customer, says I am either exploring virtually, or I personally am pinned. I'm at Andrews. So now I'm going to search for biography books in Andrews. There's 2 results. We have 9 businesses in this platform right now. So in our pilot right now. So there's 2 results for biography books, which means that there's Dean's, they have biography books, and then there's a Curiosity Shop in 22.8 miles away in Murphy. They also have biography books. So we have the 2 options, and it tells you where the closest one is, and then it scrolls all the way through the entire country until you find the one. Obviously you're not going to look for biography books 400 miles away, but for certain specialty items it can be very handy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a second search. We can do additional searches. So we have one search term, which is biography. You can see it there, right here. This is what's called a filter. So now we're filtering all the results for biography books. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a second filter, right? So now we're going to filter for vinyl records, because I want to go to a place that has vinyl records and biography books. And lo and behold, there is such a place, and it's the one here in town. Dean's Music, Books, Consignment, and Art has both of those items. So I'm filtering now for biography and vinyl records. Now I'm going to go to Dean's Virtual Storefront, his listing. This is Dean's Virtual Storefront. It has your own dedicated URL right here. This right here is your personal URL. And Dean actually might want something that's more like his full name, but we don't have to worry much about SEO and search because of keywords, which we're going to get into in a second. First thing in the listing is this map. This map maps a path between where I'm located, the zip I'm located, and there's Andrews. So this is like 2801 is point A. That's just the dead center of town, and then Dean's is point B. So it tells me where it is and how to get there. If you actually tap on this, it'll open the Google Maps app for a Google device. I'm on an Android right here. Down here, yeah, you tap here, that opens and tells you how to get where you're going. And this call, if you hold down, it will call on Android as well. So that's the mapping with a phone number. This right here is business hours. It tells you, so not only does it tell you what the hours are, it highlights the day of the week that you're on so that it's easy for you to filter. Everything's in local time. Also, this little light here says closed, and when you're open, it actually switches to open. And in the future, when a business owner upgrades to chat and checkout, you'll be able to switch to chat, and then the business hours that the business provides that they want to have chat access, usually when they're open, but maybe it's something slightly different, those hours will appear, and then you'll be able to link from here to a chat, and once you chat, you can check out. It's a conversation, like a phone conversation, with a secure checkout after that. So this is your launch pad for the next phase, which is chat and checkout, total virtual sales. Now we're going to continue down. What we have here is a description that the business can manage this on their own back end. This is what I call a business profile. It's a virtual storefront technically, but I say business profile because on virtual storefronts, businesses are number one. Okay, this is the red carpet. We give the merchants a red carpet treatment, and it's because merchants keep our communities together. They are the glue that keeps our communities together, and they deserve the best. And that's what this is. This is the best we can do for merchants. So the merchants can change their listing, and then here, everything here. This is a keyword cloud going through with Dean, and every single one of these is something that you can find at Dean's. Okay? And there's, I think, 50 words here. I went crazy at Dean's because he has a lot of inventory. But the great thing is, when you virtualize chat and checkout, you can just ask Dean what he's got in stock. It's Dean's brain that you access. It's that customer service that local businesses have a monopoly on, that you can't get at Amazon. They say they have everything, but they do not have Dean, right? So Dean will find what you need for you. And that is, so we say customer service is what local businesses have a monopoly in. We leverage that with virtual storefronts. Here we have featured items. These are just placeholder images. These will be able to administrate. So you'll be able to upload, put a price in, and then if you also upgrade to chat and checkout, you'll be able to virtually check out like hot items at your store. Because maybe you're an alpaca farm, like Integrity Alpacas out in California, which is also in our pilot. They're always 3,000 miles away from everything else. But maybe you have mittens that you just can't keep on the shelf and you're making a lot of mittens, right, from alpaca wool, boom, make it a featured item. Then people can virtually get it themselves. We don't force you to do all of your inventory. You can just chat. What you do is just chat and tell the business owner what they want. It's for a lot of repeat sales or any kind of specialty, or just it's like a phone call in yesteryear. It's like 1960, except with chat. So, but this allows you to do the automated thing. The thing is, if this is all it is, if what the technology that we have today is that business owners are told to go and get an Etsy store, Squarespace, Shopify, and it's all mimicking inventory sites, right? So it's like upload all of your inventory. If you work at Dean's, he'd spend 2 lifetimes uploading his inventory. It's just not worth his time. And if you're going to compete as a local business owner by uploading all of your inventory, you're always going to lose to Dick's Sporting Goods. You're always going to lose to Amazon because they are better at it. And they have more money and more infrastructure and totally professional stuff. So we have a few items that you can go through, but we don't have everything because that's not a chore that our business owners are telling us they want to do. And then at the very bottom, we have these announcements so that anyone visiting your storefront, you can communicate with them. It's like kind of like the old school tickers, like the little red ticker we have out front here. This tells people, Terry, when he's having music, he can post every single music thing. When you're having a special or whatever, you can communicate with this, and all the business owners administrate that. So that is a complete storefront. Right here, I didn't mention, you have a place to put, this is a link for your current presence. Some people have Facebook, some people have their own websites. Anyway, this is this is as good as it can possibly get. And again, this right here is your dedicated URL. You own that URL. That's, as long as you're on Virtual Storefronts, this is your web page. This substitutes for a website. You don't have to build a website. Building a website is a huge chore. That gives you an idea. If I'm looking for vinyl records and biographies in Andrews, 0.1 miles away, I can get Dean's Music, Books, Consignment, and Art, and that is his full name. All right, so I'm gonna move into questions and answers now. Because Facebook Live works as it does, I don't have a Facebook Live. If anyone's on Facebook Live, who can tell me? Anyway, yeah. Okay, I'm going to take questions from the audience here. So, does anyone have a question in the audience about how this works, or what the thinking is behind it, or anything? Can I get it?
How do you go about paying?
Paying. Okay, so in this, we're doing this in 2 phases. The first phase is just the local search engine, and the second phase is chat and checkout. When you will have, in the future, the way that it will work is that the consumer will have their own account, they'll have their own credit card, and they load that to Stripe, and and wherever you visit, you don't share any credit card or financial information. You can shop at any storefront virtually, totally secure. You don't share any data with them. It protects the merchant from complaints. It protects the consumer from sharing their credit card information. One credit card, much like Amazon. One credit card, and you can check out at any local business that's on the network in the entire country. One-tap shopping. You don't enter your credit card each time. You simply go to one-tap shopping. And I'm not demoing that today, but But the way that it works is that the merchant writes up basically a sales slip, sends it back to you, and then you just hit accept, and then it charges your card. The virtual transaction is over. Ray.
From a customer perspective,
Yeah.
Local businesses will want to attract me into their business and their users' storefront. So I'm on Google. I type in, because where I'm located here in Andrews, I just happen to be here, and I type in something and it matches up. And so it's going to show up on the Google search.
Yeah.
And then I click on Deeds, and then it takes me to the
Oh,
store.
right. You're asking what's the portal? How do I access it?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Like, if you wanted to do a Google search back in the day before Google just took over every toolbar, right, you had to actually go to google.com in order to search. Much like that, at this point you have to go to until we take over all the toolbars, you have to go to virtualstorefront.co. That's actually where the search engine is located. And so we are creating our own environment that's exclusively for local businesses, where local businesses have their own keywords. So it's a curated environment, okay? Google curates by aggregating huge quantities of data, but it has everything in it. We actually eliminate most things and only leave local businesses. But in order to find those results, you have to go to, and actually anyone can do this, you can go now. We are actually live. So as of today, for the launch and the demo, we are live at Virtual Storefront singular.co. Virtual Storefronts, plural, is the site where you learn about virtual storefronts. Great question. Thank you. Anyone, another question? There must be a question out there. Terry, looks like you might have a question. Yeah?
No.
Okay. Do we have any?
I have a question.
Can anyone look at the Facebook? Hold on. I'm going to look on Facebook. Oh, are you seeing comments?
There's a question from the Cherokee County Chamber of Commerce.
Yes. What is it?
How do you see this platform helping during the pandemic?
Okay, so this is a really good question. This is a question from the Cherokee County Chamber of Commerce, and thank you very much, Daniel, for relaying that from Facebook. How do you see this? Can you repeat the question again?
How do you see this platform helping during this pandemic?
How do you see this platform helping during this pandemic? What the pandemic has taught us is that everything is going virtual, and that that right now, Publix and Walmart and Target's, it's buy today, pick it up today. All of these places, they're building infrastructure. They're investing millions of dollars. They're bankrolled to do right now, because everyone knows that since the pandemic hit, that physical proximity in order to purchase something is a liability. Mandating that someone must walk into a store is no longer a business model that works. So if today, the children's clothing store in Murphy or here in Andrews is splitting business 50-50, or like in 2019, they're splitting business 50-50 with Walmart or something, right? As Walmart virtualizes and businesses go to curbside, go remote, and people will not set foot into that business, that local baby clothing store doesn't have access to the virtual market. So they're left out of the virtual market. Walmart, so when 50% or when eventually 50% of the market goes virtual, the baby store now has 25% and Walmart now has 75% of the market. And that's just more like that in the future. So this was built, USpace made the decision earlier in 2020 to move forward with this. This is the second phase of our development. To move forward with this because local small businesses have no way to acquire to do enterprise level virtualization. So that's what we're doing. We're here developing enterprise level technology to bring those to not turn the store itself into a prison, right? Like, you can't have that happening. I'm all for physical, being there. My life is definitely, we live in a real world and then a virtual world, and I live in both worlds like everyone else does. But the reality is that we cannot leave our local businesses out of this market. And this is technology that brings them into that market and leverages their customer service. So that's the long, long answer. Is there any other questions?
Yes. If somebody calls, on there, they want to buy a T-shirt, stuff like that.
Yeah.
How's that going to work? Do credit card's in there, but
Right.
we're responsible for paying for the shipping and stuff like that.
Right. So the business owner. So there's kind of an analogy they like to use down at the Cherokee Chamber of Commerce, and the analogy they like to use is it's like a mall. We're kind of like a mall. We're also a privacy, safety, and security network. So everything's built on a foundation of privacy. We're not spying on the people that come onto our network. When you come onto our website, we're not unloading cookies and tracking people, and there's no advertising. So that's kind of like Uspace, the company that builds this technology, is a privacy, safety, and security network, and that this technology is built on top of that. Now, your question was, when someone wants to buy a T-shirt, how do you determine if it's shipping, how much is shipping, all of these types of things? We let you set up your shop in the mall, and you just make all of your terms, as long as they're legal and ethical. You just make your terms and do the deal the way you want to do it. We're hands off. You just make it a line item on your invoice. So if it's $49 for, two T-shirts are $49, and then it's $10 for shipping and $5 for tax, it's just total, and then you have an agreement with them on how that goes. You just make it a line item and sell, like you're selling at a register. Good question, great question. Any other questions?
How many keywords does a business get?
So businesses, our baseline is basically, I'm going to wake this baby up. Hopefully it'll come back. We'll just let it sleep for a while. Gotta work with technology. Businesses start with 25 keywords. This is Eric over here at Parting Glass. Just opened a business here in downtown Andrews. Businesses start with 25 keywords, and basically we're flexible up to 50, right? And we've been working very diligently with the businesses to make these to build keyword banks. But in the future, or keyword sets or keyword clouds. But in the future, different business types will have keywords they can select from as we develop our own database of types of businesses. So it'll be easier and easier to automate for a business. But again, not everything can be automated. We want some unique stuff too. Okay, does that answer your question? So it's 25 keywords, and I think we're going to have higher tiers, go up to 100 keywords if you want, upgrades for your listing in the future. Keywords are what, it's what brings home the bacon. We say keywords bring the shop to the shopper, right? So it's the keywords in that diagram that we had before, it's the keywords that make your business visible. So having 100 keywords could be a significant benefit. Like Coffee Customs out here on 4-Lane, they have a ton of different brands. So great keywords are like any kind of specialty you have, brands you carry, designers you carry, any kind of artists or any kind of specialty services that you have, all that stuff. Those are great keywords. That's exactly what people are looking for. But Coffee Customs, they did our sign here. They have a ton of different brands that they carry, and all of those could be keywords. So that anyone searching for, we're talking alloy rims and stuff, like it just never stops with that stuff. So we're good?
Yeah.
Thanks. That was not a cue for taking care of business. All right. I guess we have any other Q&A? Probably keep moving here. Okay. I need to get my mirroring back up and running. Is there anything I can answer while we're waiting?
There's another question from the Cherokee Chamber.
Cherokee Chamber, yes.
Here in Line B.
That's Sherry Raines, most likely, or it could be Rhonda.
Can the storefront allow vendors to let folks know if they offer curbside pickup or other amenities for a safer shopping experience?
Can you repeat that?
Sure. Can the storefront allow vendors to let folks know if they offer curbside pickup or other amenities for a safer shopping experience.
Yes. So our listings include delivery types and ways in which you can interact. I don't think that we did that with Dean's. I'm going to get this back on. Apparently this has something to do with power saving. Everyone bear with us while we work with technology to make things happen. So I'll demonstrate. So the business itself, the storefront, and the business owner can check boxes that determine what is, how you want to do delivery. So the options are, and you see it on Google's listing, local business listings. The options are in-store shopping, curbside pickup, local delivery, domestic shipping, international shipping, and there's one that I'm spacing right now. I don't know. But so those are your core things, and there's a green check mark that shows that those storefronts do each of those services, and if it's not there, then they don't do the services. In the future, we're going to add all payment methods as well, so that you know exactly how you can pay before you ever walk into a business. Well, you don't even need to walk into a business, too, because in the future, chat and checkout, which is an optional upgrade. You have a storefront listing for $99 per year. That's our rate for this incredible product. Which I'm having, so it's $99 a year for the basic listing. Chat and checkout will be a monthly flat fee, no commission, of $49. So that's an upgrade. Oh, okay. So everyone's getting a glimpse of my life. This is what I really usually do. High performance zone. Experience the highest quality display with maximum. I literally am doing everything that it's asking me to, and it's still being very difficult. I myself, like my person, I've been doing for 25 years, I've been working with local businesses. I've been working in media, photography, and in the last 10 years, digital marketing. I've worked probably 40,000 hours with different businesses, most of the local businesses. I've worked in New York City, Minneapolis, San Francisco, Atlanta. My background is in marketing and local business. So for the past 10 years, I've been a very astute student of technology and how it works. And this is what it's come to, power saving mode. I think that our generation, I'm a Gen Xer. I think our generation is kind of a bridge between various. Okay, it's back. Or it's on the way to being back. I grew up with the internet, but it was and I grew up with Commodore 64s, TRS-80s. I've kind of grown up with the internet. And I think that something that really needs to happen is there needs to be a bridge between the boomers and the millennials and the Gen Zers. So the 20s and 30-somethings need to find a way to work with the boomer generation, which are the majority of the local business owners. Virtual storefronts are going to require operators, and those operators are going to be 20 and 30-year-olds. And I know that people that run local businesses, I've been working with local businesses my whole life. I know people, I was on a cash register at a comic book shop at age 16, being paid in comics mostly. So, so that's, 25, 30 years of experience. I know how local business owners think, and they do not want a new expense that doesn't bring in money. What's going to happen here is we have virtualization of sales, so you're incentivized to bring in the next generation and possibly pass on some of these businesses that people are retiring and need to get into. Oh, I feel things clicking. Doing stuff. We're back. All right. Next, we're going to meet some business owners, and we're going to meet their storefronts at the same time. So, who's first? We have Jan. Let's come on up, Jan. This is Jan Olson. There's Jan Olson here. Jan Olson is director of the Andrews Chamber of Commerce, the Cherokee Chamber, the Andrews Chamber especially for over a year has been incredibly welcoming with our business, and Jan has been especially helpful. This is a really, really great community, and this is an outstanding person as well. We both just did a leadership program in Hayesville at Hinton Chateau. Shout out Jackie and Ricky. So Jan has a winery here in town. And what we're going to do is ask Jan. You see, if you just tap this, if you just tap the awning, this is the dumb person in me, like telling developers what I want. You tap the awning and it automatically goes back to search no matter what page you're on. Right? Okay, so we're now going to do a search for, Jan's going to tell me what to look for at her business. What should we look for?
Cheese and crackers.
Cheese and crackers, which is not something you would necessarily... How about local cheese?
Okay, local cheese.
Local cheese. I love that term. Okay, like when we came to
local cheese.
Local cheese, yes, local cheese. Okay, who here doesn't like the term local cheese? I mean, that sounds great, right? Okay, so local cheese, we have one result, 0 miles away, because you're right in the heart of downtown, is Ferncrest Winery. So we tap on Ferncrest, and this is Jan's listing. Ferncrest has its own URL at virtualstorefront.co, at its own URL designated. So this is almost like a web page for Jan. She controls all the information on it. The location, again, you tap these you tap here to open and collapse. You tap here to open and collapse. You tap here to open and collapse. So we open up. We have the map telling us where the location is. We have Jan's business hours right here, and the day of the week that it is Thursday, and she is closed because it's after 6:30 p.m. We can see that Jan's got a busy next 4 days. And we know when to pop in anytime we want to go. And then we go to business details, and this is something that Jan and I worked on together. Here we have her description, and then all of her all the things you can find. Sustainable gifts, cheese boards. And one of the great things is, I only came here because I wanted local cheese, right? Like, I arrived at this listing because I was looking for local cheese, because who isn't looking for local cheese? And what I find is that I can get custom kitchen towels, embroidered towels, custom apparel. I mean, maybe I'm looking for a t-shirt in town, something local, seasonal drinks, mulled wine. I mean, if it's in the middle of winter, I'm interested in this stuff, right? So it's almost like a suggestion or a palette of things that you can get, right? Curated, telling you what, it's not exactly the store, but it's this kind of description of the store. It's got Lieutenant Blender's wine freezers, right? So that's Jan's virtual store. And if we go to the end, here, this is what we were asking about. This tells you how you can transact. In-store shopping, curbside pickup, parking available. That's what I forgot. Parking available. Domestic shipping. International shipping is here, and Jan doesn't have international shipping. Yeah. Okay, we got that correct. And then featured items. We did not get to Jan's featured item, but she does have featured items, which is a wine tasting with a glass for $5.50. And that will go in her featured items. And then the other featured item was embroidered towels. Oh, no, local cheese.
Local cheese.
Local cheese, right. We have local cheese as a featured item. So I think I actually have a photograph of that on my device, but I'm not going to get into that.
Fine.
And then at the bottom, we have announcements that Jan will be able to control. She'll be able to control these listings and announcements. She'll be able to control this entire profile. And then when she submits it, we approve it. So it's your storefront, Jan. It's your virtual storefront.
Good.
All right. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
And now we're going to have... Yay, Jan! That is a great person right there. Okay, who is next? There is a schedule. Let's see. Terry. Yeah. Terry. This is Terry Vaughn right here. Good to see you, Terry.
See you.
Now Terry owns Snowbird Mountains Brewery. Now I'm gonna just tap. I'm gonna tap right here. Get back to my search. It always just takes me no matter where I am. And you can see at the bottom here, by the way. This is search. This is going to be chat in the future. So these are actually just future functions that there's going to be shopping. These are in your profile. This is before, and share here actually is functional, but we're already building for the future here. You know, it's just these features are not released yet. Terry is another outstanding. He's not actually a resident of Andrews, but he has a brewery here at Snowbird Mountains Brewery. Lives in Georgia. And what are we going to look for over at Snowbird Mountains?
Music.
Look for music. All right. I think I might have to go full vertical here. Music. How about live music?
Live music.
All right. Live music. Are you tagged with that? You better be. Oh, wait. Here we have the issue of multi-tagging. So there's no place that has both a music store and live music. We're not getting the correct results. It's over-filtered. Live, there we go. Live music. And it's Snowbird. It's Snowbird Mountains Brewery, Andrews, North Carolina. So if we're looking for some live music, we know that we can get it here. And if we go down in the storefront, so now we have to open up the storefront. This is Terry's storefront. This is dedicated URL here, Snowbird Mountains Brewery. In the future, any shopper will be able to tap and add this to their favorites. I'm thinking we're gonna have a badge page. We'll have shoppers can have badges for all of their favorites. You know, to show their loyalty and where they like to shop. You're located obviously in Andrews, North Carolina. Open up. Everyone's seen that. We have the exact address right here. Tap that, and you can and it navigates. Tap this, and it calls. Again, this is an app. This is an app like an iOS app or a Google app, like Google Play. The benefit of this app is that it runs on any browser in the world, on any device, and sizes itself appropriately. The other benefit is we don't have to submit it to Apple and Google for approval, which is awesome. We will have Apple and Google in the future, but this is faster. And as you can see, it's operating as an app inside of a browser. These are Terry's hours. I think they might change in the winter. Wintertime, I think they might shift, so these might need to be updated. In the future, he'll have control over all of these hours. So this tells us what's going on in terms of hours, and that you are currently open. Well, usually. And then this is the business details, so give a business description here, kind of give you an idea. Now, he's got, if I'm looking for live music and I want current information, you can't deny that Facebook has that information, right? So you tap this, it opens up the link to the Facebook page, and you can find out what the live music is in Facebook, most likely. And these are the wonderful keywords that you can go and find. These are all tagged as business. 32-ounce crowlers. Crowler. Who here knows what a crowler is? That guy knows what a crowler is.
Good, yeah.
Oh, wait, she knows what a crowler is. Okay, so more than... People know what crowlers are. For the record, they're...
Sell a bunch of them.
Same size as an oil can from Australia,
yeah.
but taller.
But taller.
Yeah, it's basically you put them out of the... You pour the beer from the tap, cap it there, and then you take it to go.
That's it.
It's curbside for the future.
Curbside for the future.
That's what a crowler is. All right, and that's it. That is. Wait. No, that's not it. You got in-store shopping, curbside pickup, which I know that you can do curbside, right?
Yeah.
And parking.
Parking.
Featured items. These are just again placeholders, but every new brew that you have, you put up here. Crowlers, and then announcements. You can actually, once once we get our traffic up and running, you can tell everyone, what
music's playing.
live music is
Yeah, that's
happening
it.
right here with your announcements. If you just tap the announcements, they'll stop. They're supposed to stop.
We've got an enter thing from the Cherokee Chamber.
Okay.
You want to interrupt and say, can Terry include that he's represented on Visit NC Farm
Yes.
on the
Yes,
storefront?
yes,
Yeah.
we can. So we are part of that.
Visit NC Farms is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we're part of that. Yeah.
Yep. So the Visit NC Farms app is it's a bit like Virtual Storefronts. With that, it has inventory and people post their farms on it. It's really cool. So the URL for that is Visit NC Farms.
Farms, yeah. That's what it
It's
is.
visitncfarms.com. Anyway, go check that out.
We need to put that on there. I
Oh,
forget.
Oh yeah, we should put that on here.
Put that on there. Yeah.
Well, you can put it in your announcements. You
Yeah.
can put it right there in your
Yeah.
announcements. Yeah, Visit NC Farms. Thank you, Cherokee Chamber. Okay. Thank you, Terry. Oh, there we go. All right. And now we have, next is Joanne.
Hello.
This is Joanne Page. She and her husband Thomas, or Tom, run 992 consignments.
Main Street.
Or 992 Main Street consignments.
There you go.
Yeah. And she is going to do a search. We're going to do a search for a okay, so something that 992 has is some specialty items that you don't get everywhere else. We're going to do a specialty search.
Yes, under collectibles, which would be more specifically Band 3Co.
Okay, so we can do a search for collectibles first. I think we got the wrong collectibles. Okay,
Band 3Co.
right. Just for the record, everyone in the world, collectibles has two spellings and two different definitions for each spelling. There's IBLS and ABLS. It's very confusing. The things you learn in this job. All right, so we're going to look for a specific kind of collectible called Banthrico. And then it's coming up here as a result. It's anticipating because it's in the keyword database. So we tap Banthrico and we get 992 consignments. Now, not very many people know what Banthrico is. Do you want to show us?
I can.
We might as well. It's kind of fun.
While my husband's getting an example, I will explain what Band 3Co is.
Okay, yeah.
Band 3Co is vintage collectible banks.
Okay.
And they're the type of banks that were given out from banks when a customer would open up a new account.
Yeah.
And these are very unique. And they come from the name Band 3Co. Excuse me here, I'm making a lot of noise.
I'm going to step off. Oh, wait.
Yeah. The
You
name-
can explain to the camera. I'll be right back.
Yeah, the name Band 3Co actually comes from it's an abbreviation from the company which was called Bankers Thrift Corporation. And so
Bankers Thrift Corporation.
yes, Bankers Thrift Corporation, which was from 1931 to 1985. So they're very unique. And the other unique thing about the Band 3Co products is the fact that they were all handmade. You know, they were crafted and created.
These are
by-
handmade. This is a handmade product.
Yes, each one of these are handmade.
So let's show this to our audience. Yeah, these are their miniature banks, and the banks themselves will commission these for their actual bank,
Yes, that's correct.
and they're handmade. Back when labor in America was affordable, I guess.
Now they did animals like this piggy bank here.
Piggy bank. Yeah,
They
nice.
did architecture.
Does this not remind everyone of like the old school Monopoly? This is actually very much like Monopoly. Okay.
Yeah, and then they did architecture. of
This
course.
car right here is like this is like a classic
This is,
Monopoly car. I'm having a hard time with the light.
yeah, this is actually a 1929 model Ford.
It's a 1929 model Ford, folks.
Yeah,
So that's Banthrico. So
and of course they did historical things,
Yeah.
historical figures, and this happens to be the Liberty Bell.
the Liberty Bell. All right, rock and roll.
Yeah.
So these are kind of hard to find collectibles called Banthrico. So if I'm someone anywhere in the country, this is where we have kind of a national scope with the local directory. Anyone in the country who's looking for this particular specialty item, Banthrico, they will find you. So you can, like someone in San Diego can go through. They'll have. We're looking for Banthrico as a search, and once this is populated, well, we have one that's 0.8 miles away, but you're going to have like all over the country. So Banthrico fans can find what they're looking for. It's kind of like an antique roadshow gone wild or something, right? Everything comes to you as like a fair. Okay, that's. Oh, let's look at your storefront briefly. Thank you for showing and telling Banthrico. I've learned quite a lot working on these keywords. And everyone can watch videos. We have a tag, it's called Tag Team, where we work with the business owners and tag the videos. It's a video where we walk through and create keywords for the stores. And I think Joanne was the first that we did that with, and it's quite good. That's at our Uspace channel, which is at YouTube/USpaceOfficial, or I think it's /U/USpaceOfficial. Okay, so there's their unique URL, and we know these things. Okay, this is your services. I don't know. I think these are all. We have delivery, in-store shopping. Do you have delivery? Sometimes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes we do.
Delivery, in-store shopping, curbside pickup, parking available, domestic shipping, and then we're going to open up the business details and show. So we just tap this area, and it just expands into that. From the ordinary to the extraordinary, that's their kind of like listing, and then this is their tag cloud here, so that we know what we can get there. If you're looking for a Persian rug, we know exactly where to get it. And featured items, again, these are all placeholders right now because the business owners are not doing it themselves. And then at the bottom, we have, again, placeholder text, but this is for announcements. And this is an easy to access panel that you log into on the back end, and that's your storefront.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you.
And finally, we have Eric, who's recently. This is Eric. Your last name is
West.
Eric West. Eric and his wife recently opened up the Parting Glass here in Andrews, North Carolina. The Parting Glass is a pub, traditional
Irish pub.
And so you're going to tell me what to search for. I'm just going to tap. Just going to tap the awning, go right back to search. I'm here again. I'm going to pin myself. Let's pin ourselves in a different location. Let's pin ourselves in Atlanta at the Uspace headquarters. 30309. Pinning ourselves in Atlanta. I then choose my custom pin. I can pin myself. That's my location, right? So now all the calculations when I'm searching are going to be from Atlanta. So we're doing, what are we looking for at your place?
So Reuben.
We're looking for a Reuben. We already have it up here because this is a very popular item, and I've already typed it in, I'm going to be honest. Before the demo, I typed it in. And this remembers things that were typed because it's running in a browser, remembers things that were typed. I'm going to type Reuben again. And then we have Reuben sandwich comes up. And that's what I'm looking for because I feel like eating a Reuben. And I see here as my number one result is the Parting Glass Pub in Andrews, North Carolina. What you notice here is that it's 164.1 miles away because on Peachtree Street in Atlanta, we don't have a business that has a Reuben in the directory yet. But when that happens, everyone in Atlanta will have that Reuben as the first hit, and you guys will move up to second because you're not really a local Reuben sandwich in Atlanta. But for everyone in this area, so we're pinned to Atlanta. That's our pin. The consumer manually pins themselves to search. When you're visiting a place, you can pin yourself and search for all kinds of stuff that you're going to go see when you go there. And then this pops up your zip that you're searching for. So now we have Parting Glass Pub. It's a little far away, but we're going to check it out anyway. All right. Again, this is your virtualstorefront.co, Parting Glass Pub. This is your URL. You own this. And you mentioned before with websites, it's hard because there's some Parting Glass pubs in Scotland or Ireland.
There's one in New York,
Naples, Florida, maybe, or something.
Naples, Florida.
So you don't have like there's a lot of domain competition for the URLs, and you have partingglass.pub, but you hadn't set up your website yet. At this point, what I'm saying is that's your URL, and anyone in Naples is going to have to say Parting Glass Pub Naples. You got that?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but they haven't set up their website yet. This actually substitutes for their website in a way. This is a live searchable page on Google as well. So yeah, this is not in a constrained environment. This is a live page that is like a website. So then we open it up, and we see. I'm just going to zoom in to show, how to get here from Atlanta. So we're located. That's good. So that's Atlanta down here. Andrews is a unique location here. So Andrews is right here. Atlanta's 2 hours south. Chattanooga is 2 hours west. Knoxville is 2 hours north. Asheville is 2 hours west. And Greenville is somewhere over here. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere, but
Right in the middle of everything.
like right next to everything. It's kind of an interesting location. All right, so again, we tap this. This opens up the navigation app. Tap this, get a phone call. Business hours. These guys have gotten some fairly consistent business hours and getting a regular crowd too.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
All right, and again, this is highlighted here. In the future, if someone wanted to buy virtually, if they wanted to pick up a Reuben, they would tap the chat, and then the chat would link. See, this open sign is here. They're currently open, right? So the open goes green. Now, if you open up business details, I think we sat down and worked on this on Sunday.
Yeah.
The description: Irish-inspired local pub with punk rock vibes, regional craft beer, specialty cocktails, classic domestic taps, hearty pub-style comfort food with a friendly local vibe.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah, it does sound good. That sounds like something I might actually want to go to. That sounds pretty good. That sounds great. And then we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 keywords here. You can probably add more keywords. Probably want to get some local cheese, so you can add that in here.
Oh, some local cheese on there.
Yeah. And then we have their in-store shopping, curbside pickup, parking available. You're not going to do international shipping, obviously. You're a local pub. So that's all accurate, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then these are, again, placeholders. You have up to 5 of these items, I believe. Yep. And then it goes into it's in a carousel, so it just goes in spinning. This is also a carousel down here. That is your virtual storefront. That is your URL, sir.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, awesome. I am happy to make it for you. Thanks for doing that.
Sure.
Okay, so we're just a little over half an hour now, and it's time to wrap up. So thanks everyone who's tuned in for tuning in.
So just one more question.
Oh, we got more questions coming in.
Yeah, just one more. It says, do you work directly with the business owners and help them create appropriate keywords for their storefronts?
Yes, currently we're doing that, and we will do that in the future. In the future, what's going to happen is we're going to have a data agent or someone on the ground in different regions who will assist with that, but we're very hands-on. Part of our technology philosophy is technology is a huge problem for everyone, right? Now, technology companies should be solving the problems of technology for people, and we want to solve those problems. It's our problem to solve, to make your life better. That's our philosophy. So, and that requires a lot of people and a lot of work. I mean, it's a lot of work to create these keyword clouds. However, a network like this at scale has the resources. We've already projected 5 years into the future. We have 2,000 customer service representatives, and still this is a profitable business, substantially. There's not a problem with that. It's just a matter of humanizing the experience and deploying the people into the field. But yes, we will have a presence in kind of like an account rep for the area. We want to be there. So our marketing is based on customer service. I want to mention this briefly. The experience of our merchants, the experience of the shoppers on the platform, everyone's experience is our #1 marketing strategy. We want to make a very, very good experience for everyone using the technology, and it takes a lot of resources, yes, but it's totally feasible and doable. And the fact of the matter is, Facebook spends $130 million a day to run itself, a day. So it's basically spending close to $1 billion a week. That's their budget. Okay, they can't innovate too much because you need that money coming in, right? But somehow they don't really get out to the economy. We want to spread. When you have that kind of economic activity, you need to get the personnel. You need to put people in the field and interact. And we're a bridge to technology and the real world. That's how we look at our company. Great question. Thank you from Cherokee County. Are we close to? No, not yet. Are we close to wrap? Okay, we're just over 30 minutes now. We're going to bring all of our business owners back up here for a second. I'm going to push this back. And get up there, guys.
Watch the fan. Watch the fan. Watch the
Oh, wow.
fan.
No, I don't need to. You can unhook that. It's hooked at the top. It's just. Sorry. Okie doke. All right, I'm going to be the balloon guy. Is everyone in the shot? Is everyone? You guys see yourself? Are you in the shot?
Yeah.
All right, I got to untangle these balloons. So here we have balloons. Rachel, help me. Yes. This is my wife, Rachel. No, hold all these together.
All of them? Okay.
Yep. Okay, good. All right, and you can help me distribute them. That would be great.
Okay.
So what we have here is, you'll notice, red, white, and blue. No, don't distribute them yet. So no, not yet. So we have red and we have red, white, and blue, but they're separated. And this is our problem: is that red, white, and blue are it's very orderly. And I'm a Virgo and I like order, but like this is too much order and it's not working because they can't hang out. So what we need is local businesses, and we need people going to local businesses and interacting humanly when they buy things. And then we can mix the colors up. We can remix the country, remix the United States of America. And that's what we're going to do right now. And local businesses need our business, but we need local businesses as well. They're the #1 stakeholders in this world, in our communities. They are really. These are the people that put the work in to glue our communities together. Now we need them, and we need to. All right, you get the point. Okay. So now we're going to remix the American colors. We got red, white, and blue. Everyone gets white. Everyone gets a white. That's a blue. See, I try to do this all methodically.
Here's the red.
Okay.
There's red.
And here's
Here's red.
Thank you, Rachel. That's my lovely wife, Rachel.
Here we go.
All right, and now we have 4 business owners. You can't see your balloons, Joanne. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Everyone's showing their bit. Yes. We are remixing. We are remixing the United States of America with our local businesses. We're mixing the colors up. It's a little messier, but it's better. It's more energetic. It's more innovative, and we're doing something. We're getting back to work. This country needs to get back to work, and we need to do it with our local businesses. And now we have our business owners. We have the tool now to interact with them digitally the way that we like to interact, or the way that we're conditioned to interact if we don't like it. We have the tool, we have the business owners, now we need you, America, interacting as well. So this is how it's going to happen. It's time to press the space bar. Yes.